Toyo. And then,
some people call you Toyo.
Yeah, I like it. So,
yeah.
So Toyo, Egunjobi. Hi Toyo.
Hi.
Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is us really documenting our friendship. And the important thing, honestly, I don't know the length and breadth of why I'm doing this or why we're doing this. But I think that it's so important because, at least in this context of now, because friendship is so important to me and to you too. And it's important for us to document it because, hey, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. The memories will be forever. I think that it's important that we get to this point where we're also taking note to be more intentional about growing it, because you get to a point where you're just lax and feel like this person is your friend. There's no point trying.
Sure.
And that's where a lot of people get to, and I feel like that's the place where I don't want us to get to. So yeah. Tell us about you. The interesting part that it was on YouTube forever and ever.
Right. Okay. So my name is Toyo Egunjobi. I'm as real as it comes, or as they get. My day job, I'm a compliance specialist. I'm a policewoman who.
Your day job?
Yeah, my day job.
My day jobs.
My day job.
Okay.
My day job, I am a compliance specialist. I, ensure that the bad guys don't get into an organization, and then the organization that I work with just passes, that sort of thing. Because there's a chance that they just veer off, and then you just bring them back and like, come back and get into ambitious. Ambition is good as long as it's within the confines of regulations. I'm a lawyer. Sometimes I forget. Please don't let my dad know this, because he's spending a lot of money to send me to school, but I am a lawyer. But outside of that, outside of work, who am I? I've often asked myself that question, because I believe that our degrees and our jobs are like cloaks and fiddles, and then outside of work, we don't have an identity. There's no personality. There's nothing. And so I've become more intentional about trying to define who I am outside of work. And I think that I'm an intense person. So with my friendships, with everything I do, I'm just very. I don't know how to ask anything. So it's either I'm it or I don't send. But if I send, you will know that yes, I got it. I'm very much into it. But I think that that's just like this snippets of who I am. So I like to have fun. I work hard and I play hard. Like balance. Do you understand? So when I'm working, but I'm partying and having fun, because that's the only way we need to distress. And as life happens, you just realize that you're just living and coasting, but you're not really living and enjoying life. I like to make an impact on everybody that I meet.
And you do.
Part of why
And you do.
like really.
Oh my goodness.
Really good friends.
Oh my goodness. Do you know the first day I met you? And this is, I don't think I've ever told you this actually.
Okay.
It was in Ashley's house.
Yeah.
That first Vivian's thing. And I remember I was like thinking, it'd be great to know this baby a little more. And a lot of people don't actually admit to that, because it's like, it's odd, right? But I remember, I don't remember a lot of things. I remember what you wore exactly, what is boo-boo. I'm not talking a lot, but the times where you chipped in and chipped in with,
I came correct.
And I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I would like to know this thing. And I don't even know how it's there talking.
Honestly, yeah. I think the next time that we saw each other was at the Lagos FinTech Week. Interesting that it was about the same time last year, I think, around the same time. So So I remember sitting at your booth.
Yes.
That we took pictures. Of which one of my pictures was you guys? But the pictures it was you today.
Yes. I saw those pictures recently actually. I'll send you one or two pictures.
Yeah. And I just honestly, same thing when I saw you, I was like, I'm very
Quicken.
with my friendships and
Yeah.
people I connect with.
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to be friends with this
Yeah.
person from like my first meeting
Yeah.
because I don't have to hustle to be
Mhm.
friends with my
Yeah.
friends. I put in the work with my friendships, but I don't have to hustle to be a friend. Do you understand? We just connect and
Yeah.
you will know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, her piercing. I'm like, yeah, my solution.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, am I going to remove the nose piercing and put this or? And I was like, yeah. So
I should do it. You should
I
absolutely.
think
do
I
it.
will.
Yeah, because you have a brilliant
I will.
smile.
Yes.
So it'd be like something additional. You should definitely do it.
Yeah.
So was that Lagos 20 quick?
That was the second time.
Are you serious? I
But
feel
wait,
like
obviously we had spoken and we had been chatting even before then.
before then.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had sent messages and stuff like that and interacted PBN and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then our second meeting was Lagos FinTech Week. Then after that was the dinner for FinTech, PBN FinTech thing that we now wore almost the same thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Great minds. That was the kind of time. Look, let me tell you how it is with Tracy. It feels like we grew up together. Like we met at 5. She knows like everything that matters.
Yeah.
By the way, and it's like every time we have a conversation with Tracy, it goes deep real quick. Like you can't have a 10-minute conversation with you. It's not possible. Like us in Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we traveled to Ghana together.
It was such a beautiful trip. Such a beautiful trip.
And we
Yeah.
spoke like it was like endless talking. Everything. And I think that at that point so it's really solidified what I thought about you in terms of how aligned we are in terms of maybe not personality because you are more outgoing than I am. I sit it out all the time. Like PBN conversation, she's there in the middle of it. She's like going at the guys and the girls and everything. And I'm like, how does she do it? Meanwhile, this babe, you said day job. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I'm not going to talk about that later.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because you are super busy. So you have to, like, and I think that's, you really captured it well where you said you don't know how to half-ass anything because where you're doing something, your heart is there. Or you're not there at all. And I think that's how life should be because, I mean, we're too old to be pretending like we want to be in a situation where we don't want to be, right? Ghana was great. Ghana was amazing.
Yeah.
It helped us to really deepen. Before then, we had a lot.
And fun fact actually was, you know, at the time when I told you that I was thinking I was probably going to have a surgery,
Yeah.
but I hadn't made up my mind.
Yes.
But when we had the conversation, you were one of the major reasons that gave me that major confidence to
Yes, sir.
go ahead and have the surgery. I was initially scared and I'm like, we'll just do it next year or never do it, or just pray to it.
Yeah.
But when we had our conversation and you told me about yours, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, when I get back to Lagos, it's something I'll take more seriously. And I'm glad, like, you were like, yeah, just do it and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because you told me about how, like, you started to live a better life after you had your surgery. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's a living testament. And that gave me a lot of courage to, you know, yeah. Because I don't know if it's not shame, it's not stigma, but there's this thing that when women tell you about certain health conditions that they have, it almost feels like you have to hush it. Do you understand? You have fibroids, why do you need to know that you have fibroids? Do you understand? And I think you're the first person outside of my sister friend who I live with, and maybe like some family members, I've never really openly had a conversation about fibroids because it's like, how, because there's so many.
like that.
That's how I felt, to be honest. I didn't think
Or something to talk about.
it was something to talk about. I just felt like, oh, if you're going to say you're doing fibroids, so just, do you understand? Just
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like the curtain or something because women's health and so many other things, and also because I had read certain causes of fibroid, and it made me.
Jesus, what's ghost?
Yeah, I mean, so there were lots of things. People said different things like
Okay.
weight, hereditary factors, and stuff like that. And so there's also that stigma of maybe she has to lose weight, so that if she loses the weight,
Now drive.
John has that. So like just so many things that you know how society just gets in your head, and you don't even realize how much you're soaking in as a person.
Yeah.
And people are speaking where you think you're not listening, but
You are.
it's a setting.
Yeah.
And as human beings, we need to have like filters upon filters upon filters,
Yeah.
so that it's only things that are extremely relevant to us that we soak in. But having that conversation with you definitely did help me, gave me the confidence to be like, yeah, you know.
Let's do it. I'm glad that even though I didn't even know that I was having this impact on you, that it happened. And I think the journey was from even me overcoming the fear of having fibroids and just running away from it.
I ran.
Yeah.
I was in denial. I don't think I ran. I was in serious delulu.
They'll just be telling you, you can feel it in your body, and they're telling you that this thing is growing, and then you're like, no. Just the way we say, oh, if you lose weight, you lose it. It doesn't work like that, you know. And maybe this is also an encouragement to someone out there that needs that extra push, because at the time when I made up my mind to do the surgery, I had really like spiraled, right? I was in intense pain, and I had to be on pain medication, all of that good stuff. There was already a pain therapy plan for me in place, and I'm just like, people shouldn't live like this. It's not. People don't get, you know, because fibroids are, it's like common, but everybody's experience is so different. It's so different. So, and the positioning of it, the effect on you, on your mind, on your work. Girl, at some point, I had to tell the boys, I said, hey, see, if I'm in a bad mood, I'm starting like, look, it's not you, it's me. Like, I had to take responsibility like that, because every single month. And then it became twice in 2 weeks intervals. And I'm just like, no one needs to live like this.
And you start panicking before the period comes. I had a whole bottle. For me, it got to a point where no pain medication was working. I could only drink, had to be gin.
Gin.
Or whiskey, I'm not even joking. It had to be gin or whiskey, because nothing else would work. So when I get the sense that, okay, my period is about to come,
Just get drunk.
just be drinking the whiskey from like 3 days before the day.
Like consuming it a lot.
No, not consuming a lot, but just consuming so that you
Like-
can reduce the pain when it comes. Because there are some pains that I remember on different occasions I'm out and they've had to bring me home. Like I drove myself to 3 locations. But it's a different person that brought me home, because I'm not able to drive and I'm in intense pain.
Yeah.
And nobody should live like that. I remember one time when I was, actively making furniture. I was at a client's location and I just started to feel uncomfortable. But that day, I now wore a wig. Maybe I
Lose that wig. Yeah.
as a place, or and then of course the guys that were working with me, one of the guys knew that something
It's wrong. Yeah.
something is wrong, but he couldn't place it.
Yeah.
I go to the bathroom, come back, throw up, everything, and come back, and it was just uncomfortable at some point. I didn't know how to take it. I just said, please, can I have gin? They didn't have gin, but I think fortunately they had whiskey. And so I drank the whiskey, laid on the sofa in a client's house. I could, that's the thing where you're like, there's no shame again at this
Yeah.
point, just let the thing go.
Yeah.
And I just knocked, passed out, and when I woke up, it felt like nothing happened. Yeah.
You were fine.
I was fine. Just felt like nothing happened. When I left my house, funny enough, I left my house. I used Cocodamol before leaving my house because I had a feeling, but
Maybe
it
you
didn't
hadn't
work.
kicked in.
Yeah, it didn't kick in.
Mm.
No, so like because the way mine was like it has to be instant action.
Yeah, gratification. Yeah.
Instant. Yeah, so going through that, it's not normal, and there are people living. I thought it was normal, like oh, people just
Have pain,
have
intense pain like
yeah,
that.
and some
No.
people
No. I think that it's actually, and this raises a point around understanding men, he or she, right? Because there are men that will shame me for that, like your ex gonna lie down. They don't understand because they're not privy to this information, and they probably don't have sisters or don't have sisters that have fibroids, or don't have sisters that have fibroids that talk about it in front of them. So it's like, why are you behaving like this? They don't. You have a grown man and then he doesn't know how to handle the fact that you are on your period and you are in intense pain. He can't fathom it. So we need to do better with the next generation of young boys and just expose them to period materials are not shameful. Right? This is a woman's life from 10, 11 for the rest of her life till minutes. So men should know more.
It's a part of a woman's life. Same way you can go shopping for a woman, same way you should be able to go to supermarket or anywhere to buy sanitary towels for a woman.
A woman and understand.
Yeah.
Because part of why I had to come out to voice to say, hey, it's not you,
It's me.
Right. Because I would every single thing was get like
Under your skin.
under my skin and it's so intense. I was feeling everything so intensely.
Yeah, because it's like stabbing you with different.
That's even the before.
Oh yeah, okay.
The before.
Yeah.
Oh. And I'm just like, why am I so angry? But I can't help it. I'm so angry. I'm eating somebody's head off. And then a bit later I was like, oh hi. And I'm so sweet. I'm like, okay, this one's going crazy. But it's stuff that we need to talk more about so that people sort of understand and they can give grace to women who are going through these things.
Because it even helps you remember to check yourself. Do you understand? Because when you're going through that phase, you're thinking what's wrong with me, but you don't realize it's actually part of it.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
Some people, me, is nobody loves me, everybody hates me.
I swear. That's
so
what
I'm angry,
yes.
but I'm also like, I'm so depressed,
so
like, oh my
loved.
god,
Oh my
nobody
God.
loves me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not beautiful, I'm ugly.
What?
You know, wow. Like,
What?
are you serious? Like, nobody
You still
loves
have
me.
those thoughts?
Oh, girl. It's like, nobody loves me, everybody hates me. Hormones.
The
crazy
are
thing-
the worst.
The crazy things that you feel,
Yeah.
so you feel the emotional side, you feel the physical side, you also
Yeah.
feel the hormonal part. Do you understand? Like,
I do.
yeah, exactly. So you're feeling all of those things, and you're like, why am I feeling this thing?
Yes.
And then there's also that shame that comes with it, like, oh,
Yeah.
you're feeling this type of way,
Yeah.
but as a Christian girl, you're not supposed to be feeling
Girl,
this
you
way.
can say it. You feel horny. That's
Exactly.
part of it.
See, it took
Did
me a
they
very long time to understand my
that.
body,
Yeah.
and it's all part of the cycle.
And we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
Like with young girls, they'll just say, okay, take pad, you're on your period now, welcome to puberty.
Yeah.
But the entire process of understanding and knowing that you feel things that you've not felt before, and you feel them on a regular basis. So, but it's not. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. See you saying, "Oh, I'm a Christian girl." Who's not a Christian girl?
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we need to understand that your cycle goes beyond just bleeding every month,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There is the mental part, there's
Yeah.
the lethargic part, there's the part where you're very horny and just like,
Yeah. Now.
now. Do you get
Now,
like,
yes.
but,
Yes, yes.
Someone
The
has
shame
to know
matters.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get it? But
yeah. It's part of it.
part of it.
Yeah.
I can say that I just started to understand and realize these things at the, like, very recently.
Yeah.
Before it was, I used to feel it, but I never tied it to anything.
Yeah.
I just felt like, but you know that, your cycle is just not bleeding every month. It's, in fact, that's like the easiest part.
Yeah, because it's the thing you can see. But the ones you cannot see are the more complicated
Yeah.
part that nobody just wants to talk.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Going to my friend, like, oh, I had light flu. She said, madam, what you had was not light flu. That's normal. I said, that's what you enjoy.
That's normal, yeah.
And like, I used to run, because I don't know how to wear tampons. So I'm running these
Tampons.
long sanitary towels.
Long is
And then
enough.
even, I went through.
Yeah.
And even at that, I'm just,
You just dive out at some point.
it's like, because
Yeah.
you now have to, especially at night,
Yeah.
you now sleep in one position so that you
See, You will now sleep and down to like this, so that you don't move. If you move,
Yeah, you're gonna get sick.
you should sneeze.
Hey, do you understand? Then in the office too. You're not like, okay.
So that you now
like,
sit with us.
oh my god, like women go through a whole
We do.
Let's
We
talk
go
about
through it.
workplace, right?
You don't want to talk
And
about
how-
your work.
No, so I'm not even talking about my work. I'm talking
Okay.
about like work
Okay.
generally as
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
And how you climb up the ladder and you are there's a place of we don't know where it's come from. I think we've spoken about this thing before where we just wear this I don't want to call it masculine so I'm not sounding sexist.
It is masculine
When you
energy.
wear this I don't know it's a
Yeah.
ladder
Mm-hmm.
that's just like yes, I have to show that I'm
Everything
the
they
boss.
can do and can do.
Do you understand? And I'm capable.
Capable, yeah.
So we're constantly
having to show
Show
in masculine energy.
masculine
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. I think that it's a lie that has been sold to women of our age, right? I think that the women in the generation before had to break the ceilings, had to, be the first in the room and do all of that good stuff. And they sold us a story where they're the role models that had to be hard and had to be the only woman in the room, so you have to sound like a man, you have to da. What I think we're missing is the fact that we're more women now going through the exact same experience. So we're mid that I don't need that what?
That's 30 plus. However you want to interpret this is left to you. But there's just add a few more than one plus to the 30. And then
Plus, right?
Yeah.
And it's been sold to us that you have to show up in this way, but you have to show up all the time, regardless of your hormonal whatever, and then show up in a certain way. But I think that we have the liberty to say, there are more women in the space, so how about I show up my feminine? And it's difficult because
Show me your wet energy. I
Wet?
listened to a podcast.
Okay.
I saw it on Instagram the other day and I was like, yes.
I think I know what you're talking about.
This is like it's just like just be soft. Like bread. Like fresh bread.
Yeah.
But like the wet energy, like just it's
Yeah.
okay. You can.
Yeah. Feminine,
It's
soft.
not every day that you have to. No, you can actually just be wet and soft and still
Maybe
make
you
those
want to use
decisions.
soft.
But that's how she described it. I don't
Girl,
adjust the messenger.
Wet is a whole different thing that I described.
But like, it's okay to you can be calm and wet and just relaxed and still make those decisions.
I think that
And still command that level of respect without being very hard.
when you've been taught how to be hard, how do you
How do you
enter
un-
that part?
How do you become untaught?
Untaught, yes.
Mhm.
Because you're talking about being soft and still commanding that level of respect, but men only hear men's voices. And there's a level of experience that you get in. Okay, so there's microaggressions that I've experienced in dealing with men that are trying to even come into the system. I'm asking you a question, you're deferring the answer to the man in the
man in the room.
and I'm thinking, am I a potato sitting down here asking you a question?
Yeah.
Big yam,
Yeah.
because I don't understand. And it's those things that people can see and ignore, but these
Yeah.
are actually the microaggressions. And so sometimes it's essential for women to be like, I asked you, just I learned to be quiet in those situations. Maybe it was even me being soft in quotes, but I learned to, after a while, just be quiet and calm, because I'm like, I have to make a decision about it. 1/3 of that decision.
So that's where your wet energy comes from. You don't need to shout and scream.
Okay.
Yeah, but the decision is gonna be made.
It's gonna
and
be
then
made.
people are gonna be affected.
It's gonna
Positive
it's
or
oh my
negative.
god.
It's
Do you
okay.
get? And I think the important thing is that my colleagues actually do, and I appreciate it so much, is what you think.
Shout out to Tunde
And
and Myla.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Just
yeah.
say, what do you think? When they notice that Onyinye has quieted down, she's not having any of this, but she just doesn't want to be rude to this person, I'll just be quiet, straight face. I can even be smiling with you. But you see, those things show me that you're going to treat other women in the system like that. If you can treat me like that, me that's on the interview panel, so you don't really know where I am and the thing is, very interesting because when we sit down, we introduce ourselves with our positions. So if you think that you can treat me like that, all the women in Sycamore that you're going to mess them up. You're going to make them think that that's okay, whereas it's not. And that's not what we're trying to exemplify. So sometimes,
Like the fact that you guys are shutting it down right from the interview.
My
So
sister-
even if you hire them, they know that we don't do that here.
you don't do
That's
it
fine.
all. And because there's also we started doing this thing where we would have like women of Sycamore Day and we'll go out and we'll have dinner on Sycamore's bill and we'll talk and eat and laugh and cry. And those things made us tighter because what it did was it drew a straight thread through all our experiences, regardless of level. So there are, because it can be your peer, or your subordinate, because there a significant number of women who are in leadership positions there, and you're working with men, and they're like, okay, I'll go and ask a higher up, or I would tell you later, or just that dismissive nature. Don't bring it to me, because you're going to hear something. That's when I go back into my masculine, because I don't even know whether it's masculine. I'll just go back into, I don't know, I'm soft. There's a lot of them. I don't know. I think I can be taught. And I'm trying because
Something to be test you.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You would, and it's crazy because you're thinking that, you know, you're at this point in your life where you should naturally command the same respect that a man would command. And you said it before, but it doesn't happen like that, especially in our patriarchal society. And we don't want to believe that we're still as patriarchal as we are. But trust me, Lagos maybe is a little quiet. It's not even a little quiet. When you want to get a house as a single woman, now you're asking
where's
for a
your
man to.
where's your ring?
Where's your
husband?
husband?
Where are your children?
So with me as a whole woman being like, so my money is not enough for you. You need, and it's, I can't even lie, some women have caused that to happen, but it's still the society that we live in. So for me, it's like, you want to be soft, but how soft can you get? Especially, and this is not something to, sometimes, you know, when you say, oh, you're single, or they address you as Mrs. Because at this
Oh, you know, actually, do you know what's funny is out of everything that we have, spoken about, I'm just like, yeah. But you see that,
Mrs.
Oh,
Egunjobi.
good afternoon. My name is Toyo. Oh, Mrs. Toyo. Do I have to be married? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why is my
The covering
person-
of a man.
why do you, like, I'm here as Toyo. I don't see something. I
Yeah.
not even use my father's name.
Yeah.
I said my name,
Yeah.
but you just
Just
to
feel,
hear
yes.
Mrs. Why?
Yes.
Why? Why does
Because you look like
why
a
does
Mrs.
why does it have to be tied to a man?
You,
Like,
you look like.
we have.
I think women do it too. Women do it too. So that was not even a man type slander. It's women do it too. But I think it's also a discomfort of at your big age you're not married.
Why do I have to? I mean, don't get me wrong. Just in case my sisters are out there, I mean, I do want to get married. You know, my
Yes,
sister
it's a
husband,
desire.
I
Yes,
do.
absolutely.
It is my heart's desire
Yeah.
to find the person to be the missing rib of my
You are the missing
rib
rib.
cage.
Madam,
We
you
have
are
the
the
missing
rib.
Shout that thing.
Rib and rib.
But the point is that like I said, remember when I introduced myself, right? My marital status or my job or my educational background or
Shouldn't be that
it's
thing.
not what defines me as a
Yeah.
person. Doesn't define how I am treated outside. I believe that people should be respected because they're persons first, and then everything else comes after. I shouldn't be respected because I'm a doctor or I'm a lawyer. I should be respected because I'm a human being,
Yeah.
right? Not even because I'm a woman,
Yeah.
right? Or I'm a senior person in the workplace. It is
Simply because you're a human
simply
being.
because I'm human first, you know. So and it's just so there are these problems, and I'm thinking where do we start from, and how do do we become part of the solution? What are the things that we should do? Because guess what? In as much as we think that we are liberal and we're becoming, I don't want to use the word woke, because woke is something different, but we're more exposed. You see, environment plays a different factor. You'll be shocked at the things that you think of that are actually patriarchal. But is that how to say it? Patriarchal, sorry. I'm still learning English. But yeah, do you understand? Like, you'll be shocked at how embedded you are in the patriarchy that you have to stop yourself in the tracks and be like, did I just think that?
Yeah.
Do you understand? So when we're identifying these issues, how do we become part of the solution?
I think what we're doing is part of the solution, talking about bringing it to the light. Because there are women who just collect, single women like us, who just collect, you call me Mrs. and you go home and you cry, but you come back and you don't say anything about it because, you know, it's part of your desire.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened.
And live your best life. Please live your best life.
Do you get? I think talking about it too. I'm not attaching any form of shame to being a single woman thriving in a patriarchal society. It should be part of the top things that are talked about in local and international podcasts. Also, just teaching the next generation how to behave. The men of the next generation, teaching your friends, your brothers, say, hey, you know what, that is actually not okay. You know, I would not stand alone. And they will say, iron, Toyo, yes, it's okay. You know, if you have standards, people respect you for it, and you will draw the kind of people that you want into your space because you've defined yourself. You see, back to that definition. So beyond work, beyond titles, beyond preferences, like orientation, all of that good stuff, there has to be you at your core and what you would stand for, what you would not. And is in talking about it, is in letting people know your stand, is in not calling it out when it's done, right? It's in, I don't know, these are some of the early things that we can do. And then eventually teaching our daughters that this is not okay. When a boy says, or in your school they say, oh, you guys go to home economics, and this one goes, no, how about I do agriculture? So why is it a man's work? Do you get? Or a boy wants to do home economics or sewing or whatever.
The girl space is in the kitchen and the guys
He's
are
saying
saying
what?
Me as all of us can cook but absolutely hates cooking. So what's gonna happen?
Funny enough, I actually don't hate cooking. I just get into a mind space when I want to cook. And I then cook. And then I drop it and I'm done. But you see that every day. Maybe that's why we're not married.
Actually. Because how will our husband and children eat?
See, nanny. See, food delivery service. See all those people that cook, that cooks in bulk and send it to your house.
That's the important thing is that people are fed and they're fed well.
You now marry one of those people that say, oh, you know what, I eat only fresh fries. Do not cook yourself.
You better be able to cook yourself.
You better. You better.
Because I think my problem with cooking actually is that I was a time in my life. When I was in uni, I cooked for man. But I cooked for man, but yeah, let's say that's well for man.
But you don't like cooking.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I think that's part of the reason why I just lost.
Like it's scarred you.
Yeah, and then plus I don't eat my cooking. Not like I don't eat my cooking, but by the time I'm done, I'm too tired to eat.
I'm telling you.
Do you get? So what's the point?
Yeah.
But if I am in the mood, because I'm very extra, like I said, I don't half-ass anything.
Oh my god, I
So because I'm very extra. So if I'm making something, I like to just put everything inside. Not everything, please.
Wow.
You know, but I cook with love and a lot of intentionality and all of those things. I like to do it. If I'm making fried rice, everything is inside. Do you get? I'm not just going to make fried rice because basmati is here and stuff. Everything must be in there. And by the time I'm done, I can't. But if I'm to cook for people, if I absolutely have to do it, I will. But I would prefer not to absolutely have to do it.
See, I think that's why we are working so hard.
Yeah.
Because we have to afford the convenience of not entering the kitchen every day. When you want to do it, you know that it's love that's carrying you to the kitchen, and then maybe you be less traumatized about cooking for man. But but it's not a compulsive thing that you have to do. Oh, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Oh, breakfast, lunch, dinner, children's food, this and that. Because even children eat something different from adults. Okay. It's so complex.
It's a lot of
So we can afford. Oh, I'm feeling like this and that.
and then it's done. Like I said, most important thing is that people are fed.
Mm.
And fed
Doesn't matter who
in a
cooks it.
healthy way. I think that I respect people who love to cook and
Who do it every day?
who do it every day. I think that you have to be.
Do you respect them?
I do. I actually do, because see, cooking is a lot of work, and I think that you have to have a certain level of passion for cooking.
Or
Right.
on lack of choice.
I mean, yes. I mean, for some people they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But even at that, you could have chosen to be something else. Do you understand? But you
Yeah,
chose, to cook. And for the seafood to be sweet too, there has to be passion in it.
No, that's two different things. The fact that cooking doesn't mean the food will be sweet. It's two different.
So two different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that at the point where we are at, because sometimes I listen or I come across conversations and people are fighting over the woman is not cooking. I think that absolutely, women should cook for their family, but it's not what makes me wife material.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
Because I was going to just take that and
unpack it. So
yeah.
I think that it's anybody should cook for anybody. Do you understand?
Anybody, exactly.
Like, husband cook, wife cook.
Do you know how sexy it is when a man is cooking?
Hey, man.
Look, that's the prayer. God,
see,
please, you must know how to cook. It's not only rice and bread
if you
you
cook,
eat.
I was told, don't worry, I'll be a support
See.
system in the kitchen.
I will be just with you. My
Do you
God.
understand? So it
Just in the food for
shouldn't
yourself.
really be, because it's a survival skill
Mhm.
as opposed to be gender skill. It's just like,
Very much so.
I wake up, I should be able to know how to dress up, have my bath and do everything. Same way, if I want to survive, I have to be able to cook, right? But it shouldn't be a case of,
Because
like,
you're a woman.
do you understand? That's not what makes me wife material. That's not what makes me,
A good person or a
person.
good wife.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's not what makes me a good wife.
Or mother.
Yeah,
I
see,
beg.
in this life, I say to them all the time that if you want to do certain things, do it because you want to do it. Because you can be the best chef. You can twist your leg up and down, upside down for a man.
Wow.
If he's gonna do what he's gonna do outside,
Oh,
he's still
gosh.
gonna do what he's gonna do outside. Not because you have the best
the
position
yeah.
and you cook the best meal.
Yeah.
Do you get? It's
Yeah.
not what determines your worth as a woman
Yeah.
or what makes you a high value woman.
But isn't that what they teach us from when we're young?
Yes.
Isn't that the thing that we unconsciously are suggesting to the younger ladies around us? Do you know how to cook? Okay. Have you tested? Do you get
If you survive your husband's house,
How you do you get you cook this 100 years of wife material? It is those suggestions that you're talking about that people absorb. But I say, look, I was telling you that in 2020, during COVID, I cooked every single day. I lived alone. Well, I didn't have to cook it every single day. I just did because, okay, it was part of passing time because there was nothing to do. But there was also the fact that at the time, it was what I liked doing. As of today,
So you see,
One
the
thing-
reason I think that
Oh.
oftentimes people are very myopic in their thoughts. So, and this is just cooking, right? I know of a couple that the husband did not know how to cook, and the wife was the one. What?
but you know how to eat.
The wife was the one who always did the cooking. Did the cooking all the time. the husband didn't used to eat later than 4 p.m., meaning before 4, the food has to be ready, right? And then somewhere along the line, and the husband used it outside. The husband didn't even, would prefer his wife's cooking to a chef or a cook. Somewhere along the line, the wife felt extremely ill and wasn't able to cook. So the case of, at least my wife's cooking, or I can only eat my wife's cooking, now became,
you're gonna eat.
You're gonna eat, right? And you have to survive.
Yes.
So what happened? So that's why, cooking is a life skill, it's a survival skill. So that when your partner is not available to do that, you're still able to, that's why it's called partnership. I think that we often forget the importance of partnership. It is being able to pick up the slack when the other person is not available. So everybody comes correct, everybody comes, it's just part of life. So when people say, oh, I cannot marry a woman who cannot cook, I laugh because I've not been married, but see, I think that I have enough experience to understand that life, one, is not black and white. Two, life comes at you so fast that if you're not careful, life will come at you and then you don't know what to do. So whatever life skills or whatever it is that you can do to survive and thrive and everything, you better be doing it whether you're a woman or a man. It's just like, see, everybody deserves to be pampered. I think that women should absolutely be taken care of, but I also think that women should take care of their man. But if you are waiting for a man to take care of you before you take care of yourself, there's a problem, because that's also survival skill, that's life skill. But I mean, my stakeholders will be angry at me if I say too much more than
talk. And they must watch this thing. Let them be angry.
Because
it's the truth.
Yeah. So I mean, we're keeping it real, right? We're keeping it a buck. There is a place to be independent and self-sufficient, but there's also a place to be taken care of.
Soft and wet.
Exactly, soft and wet.
Oh goodness.
However,
okay.
I consider it a very big red flag if a man is complaining about a woman wanting to be taken care of.
Okay.
Right? But I also consider it a very big red flag if a woman is absolutely dependent on being taken care of by a man.
Yeah. That's definitely a big red flag.
Yeah.
Huge one.
A huge red flag.
Yeah.
So,
because all you're bringing to the table is probably sex.
Exactly.
Right. And
Right.
it's the basic thing you can bring to a relationship. How about matching intellect? How about companionship? Being able to.
How about being his peace according to what
being
he
his peace? Yeah.
You
You
don't
have
know
to
what
pick
that
up
is for you.
slack when he is not able to, because if you think about how the Bible refers to the partnership of two people, is that you are able to go to war together. It's not about love and cuddling and all of that. It's really about who will fight with you in the battle, because they're battles of life, like what you explained, right? They're battles of life that you better pick with sense, not with your member. Marriage is not about 50-50. Sometimes about 100-0. It's about 20-80. Do you get it? It's about giving, not taking. It's about being this person's friend and partner, where this person can rely on you, they can trust, their heart is at peace with you, which is the most important thing. So if you now come to the table and it's only positions that you know how to do,
And then that's what
go to a brothel, because that's what it is. You can't match his intellect. You can't dress well and come out. You can't come home and just you about what's going on at work because you cannot understand, or you would go and screenshot and put it out there on Twitter and Insta. It's complex, which is why I think maybe we should have just married in our parents' time. but before we're so.
Because our eyes are opened now. We're more
Maybe
exposed and
too
more
much.
enlightened. There's like I think too much information is out there as well.
Yeah.
So absolutely agree with you on that marriage part, because personal opinion is that there will be a time, and I have people who have been married, who are married, and people share their stories. There are times when the woman is going to be the breadwinner of the house.
Swear.
They're the one that doesn't have to pay the bills.
You pick it up 100%.
And it doesn't mean your husband is lazy or anything. It just means that at that time
It's
things
a
are not
rough
working out.
patch. Yeah, and
So
it
what do you do?
happens. It really does. So you can't do position for somebody else that will give you money.
Do you get? And so, personally, I think people are not having decent and reasonable conversations.
They don't have true
True
conversations.
conversations. Who is your partner when your partner is desperate? You know, I think about that a lot. And in times when I've dated people and, you know, I've been, you know, those are the questions like, if I want to imagine myself with this person in the future, because I think at our age we should be, dating with intention.
Straight. Let's build the castle in our minds
And so one of the questions, and it's not just about how he makes you feel, right? It is, all of that is nice, but who's your partner when your partner is desperate and under pressure? Because you hear stories of men doing crazy things for money. And you realize, but this is not the man I married. Right? You find, I read a story somewhere, I think my friend sent to me on Instagram, where the man said that I think things had been really tough for the family. And the man eventually got a contract. But what was tied to the contract is that the wife has to sleep with the person who was going to give who was going to give them the deal. And so the husband is like, you have to do it
like
because
not Hollywood.
no, because our life is tied to this. And the question is, this person, my friend sent to me and was like, what would you do? And I'm like, I'm not going to sleep. I won't do that. Because any man that advises you to sell your body does not love you.
Does not.
So who is your partner when he's desperate? Who are you when you're desperate as well? What are the things that you do when... And so, yeah, when your back is against the wall. And sometimes I hear some stories and I'm like, how do people end up getting married? People don't like each other. It's not love, because there's a big difference between love and like.
Yeah.
Our family members, right? We absolutely love them, but it's not every time that we like them. Do you get? Because
talk about sibling rivalry. Talk about
so there's so
fighting
many
and
things. Do you understand?
all of that. Yeah.
And I'm just being generic about these things. So
Yeah.
like, there's people who don't like yourselves, because how do you go from I do to not even wanting to see your partner? You guys shared the same bed. You guys had sex. You were very intimate. You had, for people who have children, have children. And
Shared your life secrets.
do you understand? So many things.
Things there to your hand.
But all of a sudden, you cannot stand each other. How do you get to the point where you don't like each other? And I can't relate because I've not been married before.
I don't think it's about being married though, because you know when you're, I'm sorry to cut you off, when you've been with someone and you really truly love the person, and sometimes the difference is just I do that differs you from
That's
being
true.
married.
That's true.
So it's not only about
It's true. You're right.
Find
Actually,
yourself in situations where
you know that this person didn't like me. This person didn't want the best for me.
still sipping shots and going.
Yeah, so you just feel like you didn't want, you know, you're dealing with somebody with your whole heart and your intention. It'll be like very intentional and everything. But because of how you are seeing things, you're seeing things from on behalf of both of you, but from your perspective.
Yeah.
So it's when maybe you guys have broken up and left, and you stand back and you're like, this person's not like me.
Yeah. It was just convenient. It was just a situation where
You cared about me, yet
yeah.
you didn't like me.
Yeah.
Because I think that if you like
We used to
somebody,
each other. There's also that.
yeah.
Yeah. There's you know
So
what, this
many
person is my life, I'm used to this person, so
Yeah. I mean, so like I said, life is not black and white.
It's not.
It used to be. I grew up with fantasies and my head in the cloud and so many things, but I've come to realize that so many things happen. But I think the prayer just generally is that we find the person who likes us and we like to, and then also loves us, right? Because sometimes what probably differentiates when the person has upset you, you love the person, yes, but you are lucky, I like you. Do you understand? And for some very, very weird reason, I think that in relationships, like is actually a bigger factor than love.
It is. Especially when you define love as erotic love.
Yeah.
Because it's not charity we're talking about here. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Right? If you like the person, you're able to look out for the person. I was reading a story. Somebody just randomly was on a group that I'm on WhatsApp, and he said he didn't realize how much he showed that he cared about this person. In school, you can come to chapel like this, and we're always going to chapel, right? And you don't have your Bible, you can suspend it for that. One semester you've lost a year, because if you lose a semester, if you come back in the next year to do that
Because you
semester.
didn't have your Bible. Interesting.
What are you talking about? All the stories you've heard about Steve, true. All of you collected with our French S.
I decided I think I'll probably have been expelled if I continue.
My cousin left though. Said, you know, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I can't do this.
definitely.
So he said he would. That some guys were tearing their Bibles in two, just so that. And then at some point he started carrying
An extra Bible.
Do you know what it means for someone to think about you beyond themselves? You don't find that all the time.
I actually would love to be that person, but I also want somebody to be that to me too.
So, because in this time, you don't find a lot of men who are. You find a lot of men, especially at our age, you find much older guys in their 40s and things. They're so self-absorbed in their bachelorhood that it's like they've taken care of themselves so long that it's like it's all about them and the image.
And you just fall in line.
Fall in line. Do you know how that repels me so much? Fall in line. Based on if I was a guy, I would be a bachelor forever. I could.
Yeah.
Right? But society expects you to get married, have children, do all of those things. So it's like, okay, you know what? Fall in line, no, maybe not. I mean, but liking someone is phenomenal. It's like you're thinking about them even when you're not thinking about them. You're considering them. You're looking out for their best interests. I see this plant, and I'm like, oh, this person.
Yeah.
This person's great.
Yeah.
I see it in the dress. I'm buying it for the person. Or do you know what it takes? But because people accept less than, and they're not talking about what they really want to talk about. So I was talking to a friend about this. I don't know if it's a book I'm writing. It's not. Let's not get excited, right?
Okay.
Let's not get
Alright.
excited.
I was going to say, so when are you going to publish this?
My sister, it's not about that. Let's focus.
Alright.
So
there's maybe that's another assignment that God has given you.
Honey. So there's this thing I've put together.
I'm just here to be a witness.
My sister. Wait.
Okay.
Don't witness anything. So after my last breakup, I decided that we didn't talk as much as I thought we should have. Given the amount of time we spent together, we weren't really talking about things that mattered, right? And so, have you eaten? Yes. Okay. How's your day? Those are surface things. When you're planning a life with someone, you do scenario planning. You get into it. You get into the uncomfortable conversations. And so, the thing I'm putting together is 1,000 questions.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I've been putting together for years actually. So I asked a friend, and he's like, "Well, you're not really getting into the meat of it." He said, "What about sex? On the topic under sex? What about parents and in-laws? What about?" So I really have we more fleshy. After our marriage, where do you want to live? Do you have intentions of going abroad? Do you bath every day? Do you wash your teeth every day? Do you wash your tongue?
Do you press the toothpaste from the middle or from the
Do you understand? What would happen if I can't have kids? What would happen if you're the one that has a problem? What would you be able to service? Would you be able to IVFs? Given how intense and expensive and painful those processes are, what are some of the things that you like in bed? What are some of the things that
which I think people don't talk about
they
enough.
don't? And even now, I'm sure some people are cringing when they're watching this part because it's like,
Yeah, we should, because I mean,
if it's going to be a long-term thing and it's in marriage,
yeah,
you're getting into everywhere. Right? If I gain weight, what happens? Would you like me? Would you prefer me like this? Is it something that you think you can talk about when it happens? When we have babies and I'm slow to lose the weight, is that something that you will be able to tell me with love? Would you help me when if I ever fall ill, will you take care of me?
That's
If
easy.
you have
That's
to
easy.
make, my dear sister, if you have to make a life and death situation decision, what would you choose? Those are getting into it. Those are things that, as adults, we should be talking about. But no, what color is it? What's your favorite color? Talking stage. I hate. I think that those jokes about do a PDF and just document all those things that this is the talking stage. Let's get past it real quick.
I think those questions are extremely important because I am talking about for better for worse and who are you when or what happens when your significant other falls ill. And I think this is probably the first time I'm ever speaking about it openly, and this is something that inspired me and made me realize that life, if you want to do life with somebody, you better be ready to do life with the person, because no half-assing at all, because I understood the actual meaning for in sickness and in health with my parents. Right, my mom fell very ill. We went from a family that never used to go to hospital to being a family that was always in the hospital because my mom fell ill, and I watched my dad deal with the financial burden because healthcare, very good healthcare in Nigeria is not cheap. So I watched him go through it, the fear of losing your wife of close to 40 years or about 40 years, the fear of just not knowing what to do, seeing somebody in pain and not being able to help the person. And it inspired me, and I'm like, this is a man. This is a man. Because not only has he stood by my mom financially, he has also stood by her. Like, he thinks about her first before anybody else. He makes decisions based on, okay, what is going on with my wife? He struggled to travel and was only able to travel very recently from somebody who always used to travel, or if he's gone, his wife has gone to go and meet him. So just being able to finally, after like 5 years, to finally being able to travel. But that was I knew that it was a big struggle. So he kept procrastinating and shifting and coming up with excuses, but it's because he wasn't comfortable. He just didn't know how to. And I remember the day when he was going, and then at the he was going to the airport, and my mom just stood behind, and she's like, I actually felt it in my heart. I was like, oh my god. I was like, it would be nice to fall in love. Because I actually felt that moment between both of them. They didn't want to leave each other. I said, no, I'll be back. I'm coming back. Do you understand? And I see, because I don't think that my dad has missed her hospital appointments up to 3 times.
And this is something that happens very frequently.
Yeah, I mean, there's the time it happened very, very frequently. And hospital appointments, maybe it's just, oh, she's having a headache or something, but he's always present. Like, there was, even when she was admitted in a hospital, there was no day that he didn't come to the hospital. If he's not there in the morning, he's there at night. Right? And it's beautiful. Nobody, do you understand? Nobody wants to be in that position, but what happens when you're in that position? Because we hear that women are the ones that do that, but to see a man do it, that is a man.
Yeah.
And my dad will forever have my respect for that. Any day.
Yeah.
Just being a role, like the doctor even told him, he's like, man, imagine your wife's doctor thanking you for taking care of your wife. Because our family doctor says, oh, thank you for taking care, because he calls my mom like, so my mom's doctor is like one of her favorite people in the world. So when she sees him, she's happy. And so he says, thank you for taking care of my girlfriend. Do you understand? Because he's like, a lot of people don't do it. There are some people, they just come, drop the person and peace. And then maybe when it's time to pick them up. Yeah. So he's at the, do you understand? Even in the, let's take her home. We've been discharged. Okay, no problem. Just let me know when you've been discharged. I'm coming back, and I can come and take you guys home. And it is rare.
In this generation.
In this time, extremely rare. Extremely rare. And yeah, so I laugh, when it's all about the physical things, which is great, please. I mean, by all means, take care of yourself, and but it goes beyond that. It goes way beyond that. It goes way, 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 way beyond that. What happens when, I can never marry a pastor. I'm not going to marry a pastor.
That's
God forbid, I'm not going to marry a pastor.
Then
right?
10 years time.
And then the person you marry is a baby boy.
Yeah. Gives his life to Christ.
And then somehow, even if he's even in the thick of his Christian life and his Christian work, and then he gets called as a pastor. What happens? Because there's that expectation.
You can never marry a pastor.
Jonathan, there's that expectation that and the burden and pressure is a lot, because you now have to step up and now be. Imagine if you're not even a people person.
Girl.
You understand? You don't like people, but all of a sudden you have to now warm up to people, because women's fellowship is there, and then teenagers fellowship is here, and then Jonathan and pastors' wives. And you have to accommodate everybody.
Oh, please. Can we outsource that? Because look, there's some people that just want validation. They don't want a prayer or anything. They just want, and you have to be there, smiling and being festive. My sister.
So there are so many dynamics. Do you understand? So it goes beyond finances.
Yeah.
It goes beyond.
What does it make? What do you bring to the table?
Do you understand?
Such shallow conversation. It's really, really base conversations. It's pedantic, because you're thinking about who you're going to be fighting with. Like, you're not fighting each other, you're fighting together, back to back, covering each other. And then you're thinking about, oh, my body's banging.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
See, one thing I think we have come to realize that the body is not going to bang forever. And that's
My sister is not
absolutely
even banging.
okay.
I'm telling you. But and when you have babies,
Yeah.
it bangs even
Yeah,
less.
a lot
Right?
less.
If you're not very intentional, and it's a difficult.
If you're intentional, life happens.
thing.
It won't
Yeah.
happen. I've seen people who were hot and then pregnancy did a number. And it's not because
things about like this dialysis or something like that.
Yes, this is something. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It
There's
happens.
something. Yeah.
It happens, and to get back from that, you need a lot of intentionality, and then you have pressures at work, you have pressures at home because maybe you're not.
And then when the baby is still there, that needs to be breastfed.
Girl. And then there's a husband that is waiting to be taken care of at night too.
Yeah.
And then maybe God bless you, another child comes right on the heel of the first child.
Yeah.
Where's the recovery for you? Where's the consideration
Yeah.
if your husband is not?
Yeah, it's true. So let's talk about sisterhood and friendships, right? And what is your take on generally like as on friendships and sisterhood?
Okay, going from what we're talking about just now to sisterhood, I think that you can't rely on one person for everything.
Absolutely.
They cannot be your all in all. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. So that's where I think sisterhood comes in, because there are things that you have a shared experience of. We have a shared experience. A man our age cannot understand that.
Yeah.
Friendships happen when especially adult friendships, which we have.
Yeah.
Happens when two people are super intentional about, okay, this is something I'm real.
Yeah, very well.
And just like we've seen a bit of life, I won't say life, but we've seen a bit of life, and there's no point.
Do you understand?
Because like what I'm doing near me, God bless
Yeah.
you. Like I'm walking away very quickly. So real recognize real in sisterhood. Sometimes your sisters are born to you, sometimes they're given to you, or you make them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come from when you're a child and you grow up together. Sometimes it's in adulthood that you form these friendships. And doesn't make one less than the other.
Sure. Different seasons. I think that in other, because sometimes people say, oh, it's so difficult to make friends as an adult and stuff.
No,
and I'm like you said, real recognizes real. And if you want top tier friendship, you have to be top tier. Do you understand? You have to come correct all the time. It's not just, remember that it's a two-way thing. And be real, let somebody, like the same way we want peace of mind in our relationships, it's the same way we should also be like the peace of mind for all our friends.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I want to be able to have a conversation with Onyinye knowing that, first of all, if I messed up, Onyinye will first tell me, girl, you messed up. But I love you the same. How are we going to fix it? And then in case of, and I think that even for me, I think I attract
real friends.
Yeah. People that are not really okay upstairs, because I'm really not okay upstairs.
Wow.
And that's what
I feel like that's a compliment, but that's also
so my friends are not wayward, but they are an absolute delight. Like I don't think that there's ever any time you and I we're always laughing.
Yeah.
And always bantering and talking serious stuff.
Yeah.
But then we always talk about God. There's just something that there's a level of spiritual stuff that even goes into it. So it's deep. You have to be, and it's a gradual process as well.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. Some people struggle. They're always trying to fit in. If you're not able to fit in a tribe, it's okay, find your own tribe. Do you understand? Find your tribe of, do you understand, like minds and people who, because I know some people are like, oh, I get lonely. Adulthood is lonely. Extremely lonely. And the reason why, one of the reasons I'm also grateful for friends like you that I've met as an adult is because there was a point when all my friends, they left Nigeria and Lagos. So my best friends from uni, and we all just ended up in different parts of the world. And for somebody who funny enough, struggle to make friends as a younger person or someone growing up. I think I've made more friends. It's crazy how I am
friendly now.
Yeah, no, so fun. I'm friendly, but you see, that friend is just that friendliness is on the face. After that, that's the end. Do you understand? And so I was very, very intentional about like my friends from uni were my friends throughout uni. My friends from secondary school were my friends from secondary school. Do you understand? But now I'm more receptive to adult friendships. But my spiritual connection is to my same spiritual connection. Yeah. I didn't think that I was going to be able to make the kind of quality friends that I have now, because I'm like, where do I start from? And all of those things. Yeah. Do you get?
Where do you start from? Well, my name is. I like red.
Yeah, and also when you're going through transition and you're going through a phase of life, God always puts you in your community. He puts you in your community.
He brings people around you, and they may not always be women.
Oh,
true. They may not always be women, because I've had community that, and I still have community that this guy is not a. He would tell you, you messed up here. This is what it is, right? We met in. It's very, very funny story, but he's real. Like his friendship that till we're 80, till we're 80, till we're 90 is still there, because it is. You have sisterhood, you have friendships, you have people that are new now, but some of them are even deeper in the knowledge of you and the things that you desire and things that make you unique than your old friends. Because sometimes you carry those baggages.
I remember we've evolved as well, do you understand?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you're not in the same space and stuff, it's going to be hard.
It's
good.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what's happening to me in Nigeria. Somebody cannot relate.
They can't relate now.
Please. Everybody, in fact, I need more friends.
Just press the line up into your
account.
So they some people can, and some people can't get over you in a phase. There's that too. There's finish. That now you do this now. What are we talking about? You get why are you now fronting in quotes or what? You can't be bigger than how I imagine you to be. Yeah. So that's the grace of new friendships, because you grow into new seasons with these people, and it's like you can be yourself. You can actually breathe. You're not walking on eggshells around these people, these other people, because they can't accept you. Jesus in the Bible said, "Isn't not that carpenter the son of the carpenter?" That we don't see him finish now.
Yeah.
But he had to get people who looked up to him as the Messiah, coming Messiah. And I think it's the same with friendships. So even till we're 50, would have to be open to making new friends, because in that season you're in a different season of your life too. They would come in all shapes, sizes, forms, manners, from places. Who would have known that it was a professional group that brought us together?
Exactly.
Like we said it in passing, but shout out to PBN.
I know, right?
You know?
yeah.
Different seasons, and I'm grateful for. I am grateful for you, because I've made some intentional adult friends recently. You're one of them, and there's a difference. There's a rush that different people bring into your life. That it's like keep pace. Do you get? It's like you can't be less, because they don't see you as this, they see you as you. So you have to keep pace. You have to, it's like holding you to the standard that you've already brought yourself to the table at. And sometimes you're fronting in those, packaging in those times, but they already see you like that. You can't be less than that. So get up, wake up, get to it. And sometimes it's holding you accountable to say, hey, you're more than this. You can't be doing this. You can't be messing up like this, or this person is not the person for you, or this job. I remember Toyo still taking this.
It's a top secret. But I know where you're coming from.
Oh, yes. And it's like commanding the situation. Commanding the situation. And I'm looking at, yes, that's it. That's it. As opposed to her. Toyo si now.
You know, it is. I think that God is very, very particular about friendships and companionship.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely. Because even when Jesus was in the wilderness, God provided friends. They were children. At no point did, even in the time when Jesus was going through his entire thing, he had his core.
Yeah.
He had his people.
Yeah.
Even in his isolation, there were still people who were
Around.
there, around. And so when people say, oh, I don't know how to be friends, I'm not a people person,
No.
I don't like people.
No.
There's a place of being exhausted and about people, like people else. I don't know where I got that word from, but like you just want to be, because as outgoing and what's called as I am, I'm also very, very, very what's that word? I'm also an introvert, so I have two extremes. I am the life of the party.
Yes,
I am
you
the
are.
what's called. I'm also the I want to travel solo.
Yeah.
I just want to be by myself. I just want to, just like, you know, there are too many people around and stuff. Let me just hide my head. And I can be the life of the party in 1 minute, and the next minute I'm just like, just quiet and just soaking it all in. But people and top tier people understand.
Yeah.
Make room for you. I've had people tell me, oh, this person recommended your name. From where? How? You know, and I just want to sort of like draw this home, especially to young people, right? Because I think, especially in life generally, there's a place of hard work and being a hard worker. There's also a place of being reliable and being a great person. Your hard work may not always speak for you. Your being reliable, being responsible, being diligent, being friendly, being just genuine faster and goes farther for you.
Yeah. I was just thinking about my first job in fintech, financial services, and I got that job as a reference for the old job.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, welcome. I'm an introvert. For sure. Sometimes I can be like, still when I'm around like people, but more introverted than anything else. And I remember being in the front office in this job, and I was always close to parents and all of that. Yes, I was in education at some point.
Oh, interesting.
I will never. And then that lady was one that referred me, like one of the many parents that was greeting me without favor or wanting something. Was the person, where's this girl now? And my boss said, oh, she's somewhere, this is her number. And they called me up, and that was my first job in financial service. Interesting. So there is, you putting your head and doing work base, but there's also the soft skills that you bring to the table. How do you relate to your peers? I've had situations where I've had to ask this person's colleague, how does this person interact with you guys? Because when they see the superiors in quotes, they can be nice and all of that, kiss us, all of that.
And that's not what we're really worried about.
It's the down and lateral. Because if you it's your real self you bring to the table, you think that you can't have favor with somebody, so you're I beg, do you get that kind of thing? So we have those conversations to put data upon data too, and more than half of the time, almost 90% of the time, the intuition plus peer review plus appraisal is large.
Yeah.
So, man, do the hard work, but be visible enough to be able to let people see as much as you can in your early mid-career, in fact, your senior career. You don't know what people are going to use to remember you, but they will always remember you. Yeah. There's something that they would have in mind beyond your work. Oh, she did her work great. She was getting 100% on appraisal, great. But beyond that, the way she made me feel as a person.
Yeah, always. I always remember the way, negative or positive.
Yeah.
I always remember the way people make me feel. Recently I went on a date.
Mm-hmm.
But it,
Do tell.
no, but I'm sure you're probably aware of it. But yeah.
You want to tell everybody?
But I'm just trying to draw something that
Okay.
when to see how like very tiny things matter. Not because this guy was trying to impress me or anything, but I wasn't even impressed. The dude sent me flowers ahead of the date. Right? And I'm just like, interesting. So I was going to show up as my best self and always and come very correct, but I wasn't also going to just overdo.
Yeah.
But when I got those flowers,
Step it up a notch because yes.
I went to
Yes.
buy a dress.
Ah.
I went to buy a dress because I'm like, somebody cannot send me flowers
Yeah.
and I'm not going to match the energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's in just those small things like people know I like green, and there's some people who have a friend who I absolutely adore, and he pays attention to like the smallest things. He knows I like green, so he's like, you're wearing green again today, Abby. Oh yeah, do you understand? So even in the thing, so he knows I'm a frag head. I would buy me perfumes.
You are. Oh my goodness.
Buy me perfumes. Buy
Oh my
just like
God,
the
yes.
smallest things. This, when people teach you
Yeah.
and help you understand, love you how you want to be loved, how you deserve to be loved, and help you understand that you deserve to be loved that way. And attention to detail in friendships is what we do.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Yeah.
Just remembering that you're fragged and not thinking that you have all the perfumes that you want. You smell something unique. There's this one that I'm dying to get very soon. Portrait of a lady, of a woman.
Oh man.
Did you have it?
No.
Girl.
But don't worry, I'll find it for you.
No,
I
no. I know where to. Is that. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, but don't worry. We'll talk about this behind the camera.
Yes. Things like that, where you find something that your best top notes this and that and the other. Because I absolutely hate I'm not a frackhead, but I try to know that if you are buying me perfume, I go and buy floral.
Yeah, that's it.
Past all
Everything else, I went to floral.
yeah, plus.
Interesting.
Won't I say thank you? I will kiss the ground that you walk on, but you did not pay attention to it. So you can actually miss it. You're paying attention to the overall, and then I remember receiving a gift. My love language is not gifts, by the way. So it's not.
By the way, my love language is all 5. I say this every time
Oh
people
my
ask me.
God.
5. Acts of service.
Yes.
Gifting.
Yeah.
Quality time. Physical touch and words of affirmation.
Yes.
5.
5 of them. Notes.
5.
No, toasters on the tail. Please note.
All 5. And they all, I think that everything is same energy.
Really?
I don't think I used to think that I preferred one over the other, but I like everything equally.
Really?
But
There has to be one. Tell me.
the trick is that there's got to be intentionality and thoughtfulness in it. So if you're going to gift to me, give me a gift. It's not about how grand. It's
It's how deep.
It's about the fact that you thought about me.
Yeah.
If you're going to spend quality time with me, it's because I'm thinking about you, and I want to be intentional. Words of affirmation is because she likes to be affirmed, and then you're thinking about me, right? And I apply the same thing as well to people. So it's not because I'm just receiving. I also want to, but I also understand that people prefer some. So for me, all 5. All 5.
I love quality time.
It's not this. How this is everything is like this.
So,
sorry.
no,
Sorry
sorry.
about that. I didn't realize it. But yeah.
Okay, so for me, it's quality time. That's the first thing. So I was saying that I received this gift. quality time and words of affirmation. That's like top two for me. The others I think are like on the same level. So this gift. There was one I was dating, and I had seen him give somebody intentionally before. So I'm thinking, okay.
When it's reached my tongue.
It reached my tongue now. I come and just say unwrapped. But again, look, it's not about the wrapping, it's about the intention. It really is. Because like I am
If you're gonna do something, do it well.
do it well. Buy me a perfume that I would like, that means something to me. And it just again, it's not about how grand. It can be I swear you can actually buy me body spirits and it can mean something to me. Do you get?
Yeah.
So it's not about how expensive it is. It's really around. Did you think about the floral notes irritates me? Because you remember how I paired chamomile to
Yeah, exactly.
I always make those
Yeah.
I pair things, and so not that it irritates me, just it doesn't
Irritates you,
appeal
that's
to me.
okay.
Yeah, right. That was top note was floral.
And somebody you did it.
Yeah.
You didn't try.
Yeah, just the box, and then you gave me a day before my birthday. You know that's my birthday present. I'm a big birthday person. So not to call anybody out, it's just being intentional. Especially when you feel like this is someone that you care about, that you perhaps want to go the long haul with. And even if you don't want to go the long, you are in this situation now, here and now, presently.
Yeah. And be present.
Let me present. There's no point. Even if you date and you don't get married in the end, let the person remember you and think, that was a man. That was someone who liked me. It didn't work out great, or whatever. But while the going was good, it was good. You know, I'm words of affirmation. There was some. I don't want to keep saying dating, but hey, you know what? There was someone that I liked and liked me, because beyond dating, you have to like the person enough to be able to be intentional. And this person ticked off gifting me and specified as 6. And it made me feel somehow, because I'm like, that's not a strength that I have. I tried now because I think that it's important to some people, but it's not really a strength. So he decided that he was going to marry me.
Handwritten notes. Handwritten notes.
Handwritten notes. Oh my god.
I don't know of any woman that will not smile
No, but the thing is,
or blush.
no, the thing is, but it means something to people who it means something to more. Me and you. Yes. There are women that are like, isn't that nice? But oh my god. See, he didn't buy me a gift. It wasn't, but that was loving me. How? I kept it every day. I was meant to open.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
It was the most adorable thing.
Yeah.
And till tomorrow I remember it because it meant something to me. It was the intentionality of sitting down thinking and writing. Then I now had this one toaster. I decided that I don't think I mentioned it, but he now puts me. You know when you buy those cards that are black in between, and then hey, see handwriting. Hey,
Aggressive.
just went and then DHL did to me. I started calling him DHL because
yeah.
so beautiful.
Yes,
But this same person has gifted me a bracelet before that was really expensive, and that wasn't what I. Do you get? So that's why I was like, gifts are nice, but I don't weigh them as much as I weigh
other things.
words of affirmation and just the intentionality of that.
Yeah.
It's man, you just collect me. Collect.
Yeah. So that's why I said that, with everything it comes intentionality, right? In the gift it is Onyinye likes Onyinye loves sweet. Onyinye likes Maltesers. Onyinye only eats, or Toyo only eats the yellow bags of Maltesers. of M&Ms.
M&Ms, yeah.
Passing by the grocery store, you see M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And you
Thought
buy it
about
because,
you.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right? It is in the taking your time to write
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
It is in, I'm having a bad day, or I just had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to the movies, and then he puts your head on his shoulder, and then he's rubbing your head.
Oh.
And then he's holding your hand.
Collect me.
Do you understand?
Collect me.
It is in the, what else haven't I said? Do you understand? This is
Yeah.
just
It's the little things.
Yeah.
Because initially, men were the gatekeepers of money.
Yeah.
So women didn't have their own. They couldn't hold their own. So it's like, I depend on you for money, you depend on me for sex.
Mm-hmm.
So women were the gatekeepers for children, for home. Do you get that kind of thing? So now, it's like, women now, our age, our peers, are gatekeepers of money and sex. So it's like, you have to come to the table with more.
Exactly.
A foot rub. Do you understand? If a shoulder rub, you know, it's in the very, very small things. It's listening to something you said passively and actually doing something about it. My friend was telling me about something that was happening in her house, and she had mentioned it as a kid, right? But it was like there and back on her, but she wasn't doing anything about it. And this guy came in how many days that he came into her life and sorted that thing out.
Yeah.
You will know
So
when
it's not
someone
about,
likes
it's
you.
not about money, like, okay,
It's-
send money to your account.
It's
I mean, it's about it too, but it's not only about
no,
it.
but Toyo, a man that comes to you and is, I actually want somebody that don't try that thing with me again.
For sending you money.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh, yeah.
You don't do that.
You don't do that.
You apologize. So I was learning
Yeah,
something
you do.
about apology languages. Apologize to me in my language. If you say I'm sorry, wallah, everything goes away. If I hear I'm sorry, there's some people that want to sit down and trash it out so that next time you don't do it. My own is just say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't send me money
To apologize.
to apologize.
I think it's rude.
I think it's very
Disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Absolutely.
I'm like, don't ever do that again.
But then if he sends you flowers and writes a note,
Collect me.
so you're smiling.
Collect me. If you write me a note, he's going to say something around the lines of I'm sorry.
Exactly. Or even if he doesn't write a note, he just sends you flowers. You
No,
just
he has to write a note.
He has to
That
write
note
a
has to be there. What am I using flower for? When it's not good, I want to sell. But I love flowers. I don't
Flowers,
date them like that, but
I
they're very
think-
nice.
I think flowers are very
A nice way to make someone feel feminine.
yeah, and I think that for someone to send you flowers because they understand how tender you are, right? Personal opinion. And it's because they feel like, oh, because flowers, you don't want your flowers to die if they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So it means that there's something that they think about you, where they cherish you, and they feel like you're a nurturer. Flowers are very symbolic. If somebody, personal opinion, right? I don't know if other people think the same way. But if somebody sends you flowers, it's because they understand that you're a nurturer. And it's a symbol that they expect or they would like for you to take care of the flowers the same way you would take care of your friendships or your love.
Yeah. I remember the first time I received flowers. It wasn't from a love interest. It was from someone that was trying to apologize. And I cried. I cried because I had never before then received flowers. Because you say it's because they think you're soft, that means I'm not soft because what's all this? And he sent me flowers and I burst into tears because I knew he was trying to apologize and I accepted the apology and I had never received, so this was the first time, it was a new experience and it was just nice.
Yeah.
It was just soft.
But did you realize that we didn't plan it, but we're kind of sort of matching?
I know.
And it wasn't planned.
No, it wasn't.
I just looked at him like, what's really going on?
Come on.
Come girl.